Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm building all of PALDEA from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in Minecraft. And after a long time working on this project, I finally reached a big milestone. I'm officially about 1/4 of the way done with the entire map. It took a while to get here, but we finally made it. I'm really excited to show you what I've been working on. This project is about recreating PALDEA in Minecraft. And sometimes I'm not the most accurate, but I'm building all of it by hand and with some tools, like build tools. I've already completed multiple areas, and each new section connects back to the places I've already built. Everything is designed to fit together as one massive continuous world, just like in the actual Pokemon games. First, let's talk about Area 4. This area connects directly to Area 1 and Area 2, so I had to make sure the transitions between them felt natural and accurate. One thing that slowed progress here was delays. Some of that came from experimenting with terrain styles and making sure everything was lined up properly with the nearby areas. The big focus in Area 4 was the vertical terrain. I spent a lot of time shaping cliffs, slopes, and elevation changes so the area feels challenging and distinct. I also want to talk about a bit about update delays. These were moments where progress slowed down, and I appreciate everyone who stuck around during that time. Update delays were a big reason why this video took so long to make. In these areas, I just took so long because I kind of intended to quit. I didn't want to keep going. So I just stopped. I didn't keep building. But that's why I'm so thankful for all you guys who stuck around. You guys motivated me to just keep going. So thank you. I kept refining Area 4, adding more detail and going back over sections that didn't feel right the first time. There was also a second delay, which I want to explain clearly. It wasn't intentional, but I wanted to make sure the quality stayed high instead of rushing things. I also just needed a break, because I didn't want to get burnt out. Before moving on, I just want to say how thankful I am for every subscriber, every viewer, and for everyone who leaves comments. The support really helps us keep this project going. Next up is Alfornada. The first major challenge here was building the mountain that Alfornada sits on. I spent a lot of time figuring out the right strategy for shaping it, especially because the elevation and layout are so important to how the town feels. I ended up using sand to make like a giant pillar and did that all around the mountain, and that's how I did it. I also worked on a cave system in the area, which I'd stepped and make the terrain feel more natural. There are also some out-of-bounds areas that I explored, but I didn't bother doing because you can't go there. After that, I focused on building Alfornada itself, making sure that the town layout fits the mountain and feels believable. I also want to show and talk about this Poke's snowball command system, which is part of how Pokemon mechanics will eventually work in this world. I don't really have much else than that so far, but hopefully as we get further and further into the project, we'll start getting more and more stuff. Now let's move on to West Province Area 1. One of the main things here is a very long path that connects Area 1 to Area 2 and Alfornada. I wanted this path to feel natural and not repetitive, even though it stretches a really long distance. I also explain how I do terraforming, since this area relies heavily on smooth hills and natural elevation changes. How I do it is I use build tools to generate a ton of spears around the area to form some of the natural terrain, and then I create a ton of lines between it, and then I fill in those lines and make some more lines above those lines that are one block higher. So after a couple of times of doing that, it'll eventually have a really smooth terrain. Another focus was the base of the mountain, making sure it transitions properly into the surrounding terrain. At the top of the mountain, I worked on details related to PALDEA, making that area stand out and feel important. I also built Herba Mystica, and I even added the dog to there to bring the area to life a bit more. To wrap things up, I just want to say sorry again for the delays between updates. This project is huge, and I want to make sure everything is done right. We're also getting really close to 100 subscribers, which is honestly amazing. So thank you so much for all the support. If you've been enjoying the series, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next update.